It's as close to time travel as we're gonna get. This week in music history with Marty Miller.
That'd be me. Hello there. Let's do some time travel in less than 10 minutes. We will go through the week of April 13th to 17th, decades gone by. David Bowie inspiring others this week.
I seem to draw a lot of bandages out of people and a lot of fan mail I get.
And who's in trouble for doing what in 1993?
Faces up to 15 days in jail and a $240 fine.
And the big reveal in 1975. It's official.
The Stones didn't want to break up the Faces. They didn't want to say, hey Woody, leave that lot, come with us.
This week in music history with Marty Miller.
We'll start in 1967 when Nancy and Frank Sinatra were number one on the singles chart with the song Something Stupid, making them the only father and daughter to have a number one single as a team until 2003 when Kelly Osbourne and her dad Ozzy went to number one. Frank was a funny one.
What I do with my life is of my own doing. I live it the best way I can. I've been criticized on many, many occasions because of acquaintances and what have you. I don't do those things to have anybody follow me in doing that same thing, is what I mean.
Mind you, Ozzy, as straight-laced as they come. 2009, this week in music history, at 68 years of age, he's gone now, of course, the music producer Phil Spector was convicted of murdering the actress Lana Clarkson. There was a 5-month retrial, which saw him go down at the end of it all.
A term required by law, 15 years to life on his conviction for second-degree murder for the enhancement pursuant to 12022.5A, the personal use of a firearm. The court selects the presumptive midterm of 4 years for a total of 19 years.
In 1972, David Bowie gave the world Starman as a single. David was a green light, I suppose, for a lot of people to be themselves a little bit more. Here he is talking in a television interview around this time.
I seem to draw a lot of bandages out of people and a lot of fan mail I get. A lot of it is awfully nice. I mean, they say, how's your baby and how's your wife and what's your mum's name and things like that. But some of them are worth framing.
Can you tell us one or two of the framed ones?
No, I couldn't really. No, they really are quite heavy. Heavy-duty letters they are.
In 1975 this week, after rumours that maybe it was going to be Jimmy Page or could even have been our own Rory Gallagher, who would replace Mick Taylor as guitarist in The Stones. A press release confirmed that Ronnie Wood of the Faces was in. Ronnie's first show was a freebie on a truck rolling down Fifth Avenue in New York City.
The Stones didn't want to break up the Faces. They didn't want to say, hey Woody, leave that lot, come with us.
But
which was very nice of them, really.
Yes.
They could have been cutthroat about it.
For sure. But when you heard that Mick was leaving, was there even a fantasy glimmer like...
No, because in the car I still... Even when we arrived at Stigwood's, I still had no idea what was going on. I just thought they were sort of talking privately,
This week in 2001, the punk pioneer Joey Ramone, singer with the Ramones, died after losing a battle with lymphatic cancer. He was just 49 years of age.
If the Ramones didn't make your kind of music, many of today's biggest names in entertainment are missing the man from Queens who became famous as Joey Ramone. He inspired Bruce Springsteen to write one of his biggest hits called Hungry Heart, and Ramone even made a fan of novelist Stephen King. CBS 2 reporter Sukanya Krishnan was out tonight talking to fans and friends.
The message on one candle outside CBGB's read simply, "Thanks, Joey."
He saved the music scene, actually.
Meanwhile, at just age 21, in 1960, while touring the UK, the singer Eddie Cochran was killed when the taxi he was travelling in crashed into a lamppost. Cochran's big hit at the time was 3 Steps to Heaven. The taxi driver, a fella called George Martin, now not the George Martin of Beatles fame, was convicted of dangerous driving, fined 50 quid and disqualified from driving for 15 years and was sent to prison for 6 months. This eyewitness recalls that morning in 1960.
When it hit the post side on and it threw everything and everybody out onto the grass. Well, anything in the road, it was all on the ground. And it was just like a battlefield.
1993 this week, David Lee Roth was arrested in New York in Washington Square Park for trying to buy a 10-quid bag of marijuana.
Lee Roth was busted for buying a $10 bag of marijuana during a police sweep of New York's Washington Square Park last Friday afternoon. The ex-Van Halen frontman, in town to record a new solo album, faces up to 15 days in jail and a $240 fine.
When two big worlds collide, Tupac on stage in 1996 at the 38th Grammy Awards, where he announced a reunion tour for the band Kiss. This was the first time all four members had appeared together in over 15 years and in full makeup.
We need to shock the people. So let's shock the people. Now, these my homeboys. And I seen just about everything now.
Finally, 2009, strange man, Morrissey walked off stage during his set at Coachella in California after declaring he could smell burning flesh. Now, he is very much a staunch vegetarian, took offence at the smell coming from nearby barbecues and ended his set.
I can smell burning flesh. And I hope to God it's human.
And that, boys and girls, is a look at this week in music history. That is April 13th to 17th, as quickly as I could time travel through the week. Thanks again for listening, and let's do it again next time.
Zipping through a week in a matter of minutes. This Week in Music History, the podcast.